A lot of people think of research as only being doing basic work or applied work, whereas I think it would be really useful for people to consider doing use-inspired basic research more. I work in Brazil in a small city called Alfenas, and here I'm working as a scientific consultant, and I also do independent research. I'm also on the board of IGDORE. The Institute for Globally Distributed Open Research and Education, and we're an independent research institute. Well, I'd really like to meet Richard Hamming. I think he's done some interesting work in maths, but importantly he also talked a lot about how to decide what research problems to work on. About 2 years ago, I found out that a species of oriental hornets actually harvest solar energy directly, and I thought that was pretty interesting. Well, when I was working on my postdoc, we used to do X-ray imaging in synchrotrons, and we would go and do this for 24 hours a day for 3 or 4 days, and this could get pretty tiring, but it was also a lot of fun. Well, since I've been living in Brazil, I've taken up doing capoeira, which is a lot of fun to relax. Yeah, I've posted preprints for my last 3 papers. Well, I think the title of my first article was Vision and Airflow Combined to Streamline Flying Honeybees. Well, the title of my last article is a bit of a mouthful. It's Exploring the World of Fossilized and Modern Fungus Gnats Using X-ray Microtomography. Yeah, both of them were published in open access journals. Well, I think that open access publications and research practices are a good way for science to become more accessible for everybody. I think improving reproducibility will be a bit of a difficult issue for everyone to work through, but I think some things that can help are doing pre-registrations, encouraging replications, and also encouraging people to publish negative results. Yeah, I think that most experiments should be documented. The difficulty is if you have something that's not very standardized, you can have a bit of trouble getting together the metadata so that it's useful for other people, but in general it's good to report pretty much everything, I think. I recently read a book called Real Science by John Ziman, which discusses the sociology of scientific practice and how it has changed lately. Getting published is useful for getting funding. Well, going from submitting an article for the first time to getting it finally published in a journal, I think for me has taken usually between 3 to 9 months. We're not actually printing journals anymore, and I think there's a lot of scope for online articles to include more interactive media, so they could have 3D models, videos, interactive models of data. I think this could add a lot to online publications. A peer review is important, but I think there is a lot of scope to improve it. I think it's good for peer reviews to be open and signed to add transparency to the process. A lot of people think of research as only being doing basic work or applied work, whereas I think it would be really useful for people to consider doing use-inspired basic research more. The research community is very internationally mobile, and I think that's good because it encourages people to have very diverse perspectives. And I hope that that can continue, particularly as international mobility is reduced a bit with the COVID pandemic. I once read that you shouldn't be afraid of being misunderstood when moving in new directions. I think that is something that's good to keep in mind. Well, I have an account on Google Scholar and ResearchGate like most researchers, and you can see my latest publications there. But if you go to forum.igdore.org, then you'll also be able to see the latest scientific discussions that I'm part of, along with other IGDORE members. Now is a really exciting time to be in science, and I really look forward to finding out what this generation of researchers is going to discover about the world.